Hello folks, Fuzz here, your host as usual for our Final Fantasy IX Let's Play walkthrough series, and we're going to crack on exactly where we left off, of course, in the previous episode. So if you enjoy this, please remember to hit the like and subscribe button, and if you want to just keep up to date with where we are with this walkthrough, then you can find the save game files, my save game files for the game for Android and Steam versions on the FuzzfingerGaming website. So with that said, we're going to head straight down here to begin with, and looks like we're entering a familiar place here, and look who it is, it's Zorn. Yep, not going to question the fact we fell for that old trick again. Just grab some tea while they're chatting. Hey, look who it is, it's Marcus. And Blank, of all people. So it seems that Marcus has accomplished his mission. So, looks like we're getting a kind of past type of ATE here. Poor Blank has been left out the loop a little bit. So he doesn't know that Princess Garnet's changed her name. Right, we do need to listen to Blank there because there are definitely more enemies on their way, including a boss fight. So make sure, in preparation for this fight, you have learned Blizzard Art for Vivi, or if you haven't learnt it, then just do what I do and throw the ice staff on him. Because ice is the elemental weakness for the next encounter that we're about to face. And it may look familiar to you once we actually get into battle. Oh, I'm loving this game. I forgot how much I do actually enjoy Final Fantasy IX. It's been so many years since I played it. But it's been great, it really has. And hopefully you guys are enjoying it too. And I'm actually a big fan of the graphical improvements that have been made as well. They certainly look nice and crisp, the models now, but they've obviously stayed true to the original graphics, the original game asset, so that it's still completely and utterly totally familiar. It's still the same game. So if you remember, we fought this giant snake thing in this area earlier on. And here is another giant snake thing. Although, thanks to Dagger's insight, it is actually a different snake thing. This one has the complicated name, which I'm probably not going to be able to pronounce, called Relvuimago. It has 5,709 hit points, and has 3 items to steal: a Phoenix Down, an Adamant Vest, and an Oak Staff. It's weak to Blizzard Art, but we're not going to be casting that until we've got the items that we want. So we're going to start by casting Blind and Slow in order to prevent its damage by using Dagger and Vivi to do that, while Zidane gets on with Stealing. So that's going to be our first protocol. Here comes the Slow, here comes the Steal, and here comes the Blind. So they may not hit first time, although we was quite lucky there with Vivi's attack. And the Phoenix Down, which is the most common item. The Oak Staff is the rarest item that this guy has. Now basically, when you attack this guy, he coils up. and then he'll only attack you when he's coiled up. if you attack him. So if we just attack him with VV or dagger, then we can keep him in a coiled position while we steal, which basically prevents him from attacking us and lets us steal in peace. There's the adamant vest. So that's pretty much the tactic to this fight. You don't want him to attack while he's coiled, his counter-attack rather, because it can be a little bit on the nasty side. So, but once again, attack with dagger, and he'll coil up again. So definitely, if you do this correctly, one of the easiest bosses to steal from. Okay, so I've managed to steal all 3 items there, which means that now we can basically get to attacking this guy. And I shouldn't have attacked with dagger then, but that was me chatting, not concentrating. So the quickest way to kill this guy is to spam Blizzard on him, but of course we can only spam it when he's not coiled, which means for now we need to just be patient. I'll just show you that I stole all 3 items. The oak staff, by the way, you may already have if you've been doing chocograph hunting, but if you haven't, or even if you have, I still recommend getting one. But I do also recommend the adamant vest of this guy as well, because it'll be a while before we can get another one off him. So 1100 points of damage, which is why I recommend that Blizzard spell. For some reason he doesn't actually coil on Blizzard, so I don't know why I attacked with dagger there. I could have spammed Blizzard without him coiling. So we'll just get that spammed. We'll throw an ether on good old Viva here. Looks like the job's done anyway. So I did quite a bit of physical damage with dagger and VV during the stealing. Actually took longer than I expected it to, which was a bit frustrating, but there we go. Get a nice few abilities learned. By the way, if you have that float ability on dagger, you can actually avoid his counter attack when he's coiled, but I don't recommend it because you have to keep spamming it, and it's easy just not to attack for a turn until he uncoils. And we're off again. So we've got a few scenes we can watch now before the next area. And our little snake friend's back. These things are all over the place. These giant bugs must have a bit of a hard life living here, mustn't they? Yeah, some little ugloop things, whatever they're called. Looks like they're waiting for the next tram. And we've gone past our destination. Yeah, goodbye Trino. Wherever we're going to end up, it isn't going to be there. That doesn't sound too good. The question is, where are we? Oh dear, poor Zorn, poor Thorn, Queen Brian's throwing a strop. Because Dagger and the others have managed to escape their grasp. So, who are these new folk? So, this is Lanny, or Lani, a bounty hunter, presumably being recruited by the Queen. The first objective is to retrieve the pendant, a national treasure from Princess Garnet, and the other is to assassinate the Black Mage travelling with them. Oh, that's little old Vivi, or little young Vivi as the case may be. So, Queen Bran still up to her old scheming, and a new area that we have crashed into is the Pinnacle Rocks. Although we still have another few scenes to get through before we actually make our way through it. And doesn't this place look pretty? Has this pre-rendered background been upgraded or anything for this release? It looks pretty awesome actually, with the flowing water. And here we're introduced to a new character, Ramuh, the Thunder God of all people, and a staple of some of the older Final Fantasy games as well. So Ramuh turns into his more intimidating old man form now. And we're going to be getting a new quest from him, and it's a kind of mini-game style quest, or puzzle style quest if you like. We need to find 5 fragments that the old fella has hidden for us, and should we succeed, he shall become our new Eidolon. And we're off. So first thing we're going to do is save the game, and then I'm probably going to be doing you might see a few like cutouts and things like that, so I'm going to try and get this spot, well I am going to get this completely right for you, so if you're following along you can make sure that you get all the treasures along with the 5 fragments that we need to find as part of the story. Okay, so I've saved my game. We just need to go ahead and do Mognet before we do anything else, and give Monty the letter from Mosh that we picked up a little bit earlier on. Monty, were you able to escape the evil forest? Kupo, I think this continent is heading for some serious disaster. It might be too late by the time we realise it. Yeah, escaping the petrified evil forest was quite a task, Kupo. I escaped by following some suspicious looking people. And just double check that that's all he has for us. Oh, he's got a few letters now, hasn't he? But we'll just get through that, and that's it, yep. That's all he's got for us to do. So somewhere down here there should be a nice chest for us to pick up, containing a mithril vest. And the first plan of action is to head up here. And somewhere around here, we should find the fella. Once upon a time, 33 small countries fought together against an empire. One day, a rebel troop visited a man named Joseph, who lived with his daughter. Owing a debt to the troop, he gladly accepted their plea for help, and they headed for a cabin in the snowfield. So that's the first story fragment. We have 4 more to go. So we'll head over into the next area. Well, actually, before we do that, we should be able to go to an area on the ground level, which I'm going to do. Just going to check something. The fact they didn't report Joseph's death to his daughter was indicative of their guilt for failing to protect him. In the end, heroes are also human. And now we have 3 to go. So now we can head to the next area, and lo behold, there are a couple of chests for us to grab, including a new fragment over here. With Joseph's help, the troop defeated the Adamantois in the Snowfield cavern and acquired the goddess spell they needed to enter the Empire's castle. Now we have 2 to go, so we'll go ahead and grab that chest there. The ogre, that's interesting. Sounds like a weapon, doesn't it? Oh yes, it's the weapon that Zidane's using, and has been using actually for the longest of times now. But there we have it. And we're just looking for a way to grab that other chest. But there's also another fragment we can collect, so we'll do that first. Oh right, okay, this is the exit. We don't want to give up. Instead we want to continue on for the mithril armlet. And now we're back at the ground level, and we actually have all of the optional treasures now. So on their way home, they fell into a trap set by a traitor. Joseph gave his life to save the troop, and the troop left without telling Joseph's daughter, Nellie, about the tragedy. That's silence, so we have 1 to go. And strangely, the first one, which I probably should have grabbed right from the start, but not to worry, is here. And although Joseph's death was not reported to his daughter, the manner of his death speaks for itself. This is the story of a true hero, and that's the last piece of these story fragments. So now we can head back to that cave, and we have all the treasures along with everything else. So to save again. And in fact, on that note, I'm going to end the episode because there's quite a few story scenes to come up as we approach that exit. So it seems like a good opportunity to leave things for now. I hope you enjoyed it, guys, and I hope it's been helpful to you. Don't forget to just hit that like button and join me again soon as we continue on with Final Fantasy IX. Bye guys, take care.